from a private individual who I might add tried to destroy the evidence.
So I guess the question is, I guess the answer is no.
Since 2 days
ago. The answer is no.
The answer is since 2 days ago, I'm not
asking the question about since 2 days ago, although nothing prevented
That's when they first raised the concern.
Nothing prevented you from writing a letter within the last 2 days or reaching out to the White House before this.
Now you want me to be clairvoyant and read the White House's mind and write a letter before they tell us something?
Nothing prevented you.
What's up, America? Welcome back to America Patriots, the channel where common sense is still legal, at least for now. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button like Congress smashes subpoenas they don't want to answer. Hit like, drop a comment, and join the Patriot crew. Because we're out here reacting to the political circus, so you don't have to lose brain cells doing it yourself. And trust me, after watching this hearing, I lost a few. All right, folks, let's get into this video. And oh boy, buckle up.
Gentleman from California withdraws point of order who seeks recognition. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, much as I don't like certain parts of the Mazur decision, it clearly applies in this case, and the committee is required to engage with the White House in order to seek an accommodation over materials held by a private party, as they were in the Mazur's case, and seek to resolve this with the White House. So I would ask unanimous consent that we enter into the record your correspondence to the White House.
Without objection.
Seeking to engage them to resolve this. And I thank the chairman for not objecting. Can you produce that correspondence to the White House asking for accommodation on these materials you sought by this subpoena?
First time they reached out to us was 2 days ago.
Yes, and of course the author expressed the concern that these materials may implicate interests of the executive. I think that was weeks ago. But having admitted without dissent your correspondence to the White House, can you produce that for us where you have sought an accommodation, where you've sought to work this out with the White House? Can you share that with us since that is now part of the record?
Well, I thought you had it. You wanted to enter it into the record.
I do. I presume that, knowing your responsibilities, you have sought to engage the White House. So,
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Produce the
recognized for point of order.
I think a unanimous consent request to submit something to the record is where the person who's asking for the floor is the proponent of submitting information that member has. I don't believe it's appropriate to ask a unanimous consent request to engage in a colloquy over discovering information or obtaining information from another member of the committee.
Great, and that's why I said that no objection to the unanimous consent request. If the gentleman from California wants to talk about that and present it to us, God bless him. He's allowed to do it. So it's 5 minutes.
I would like clarification from the chairman. Does this mean that there is no correspondence from you to the White House seeking accommodation on this material?
We've had all kinds of correspondence with the White House on this broad subject relative to the Zwan answer and the letter we got 2 days ago. We've not corresponded with the White House yet.
And
we will, we may. That's a decision we'll make.
And you have not corresponded with the White House seeking accommodation ever since the author who you are subpoenaing and seeking to hold in contempt articulated the view that there was executive interest and potential privilege over this material. You haven't sought to engage over the weeks since you received that communication?
We have not engaged with the White House since the letter on the 25th of this month, 2 days ago.
And prior to that time, did you engage the White House in an effort to obtain these materials?
All kinds of engagements with our counsel and counsel, both
I'm talking about
the Justice Department and White House with our counsel over the last several months relative to the special counsel
this subpoena, Mr. Chairman. Did you engage with the White House at any time in the last several weeks since issuing this subpoena, the one you want to hold this witness in contempt for? Did you ever engage with the White House in an effort to accommodate, an effort to reach an agreement, an effort to prevent this from having to be litigated? Did you ever write any correspondence, make any call to the White House seeking to engage, seeking to get these materials that you're seeking from the author instead from the White House? Did you ever do that, Mr. Chairman?
We're seeking documents from a private individual who I might add tried to destroy the evidence.
So I guess the question is, I guess the answer is no.
Since 2 days ago.
The answer is no.
The answer is since 2 days ago, I'm not
asking the question about since 2 days ago, although nothing prevented
That's when they first raised the concern.
Nothing prevented you from writing a letter within the last 2 days or reaching out to the White House before this.
Now you want me to be clairvoyant and read the White House's mind and write a letter before they tell us something?
Nothing prevented you from seeking these materials from the White House
is known for
months, Mr. Chairman. for months.
I'm not a mind reader.
And,
I don't know what they're
I thank you for making a very clean record for any court that will look at this.
The gentleman from North Carolina said
an accommodation
months ago the White House could have raised the concern, and they
obtain these
didn't.
documents. Because your first move, of course, is to go right to contempt. Ironically, of course, for a chairman who was in contempt of his own subpoena.
Point of order, Mr.
We're still waiting for you to testify and meet the obligations of your own subpoena, Mr. Chairman. But nevertheless, I appreciate you're making such a clean record for any court in this case that you have never sought an accommodation, never written to the White House, never called the White House, never had a communication with the White House in order to obtain these materials as part of an accommodation. Thank you for that very clean record for the court, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Who seeks recognition?
So we got this back and forth going on in committee, and let me tell you, if you ever wanted to see politicians pretend to be lawyers on live TV, this is the episode for you. We got a California congressman who, shocker, sounds like he brought the whole California legal system with him, lecturing the committee about accommodations, subpoenas, executive privilege, the Mazur decision, which I'm pretty sure half the people watching had to Google. Meanwhile, Jim Jordan, God bless him, is sitting there trying to run an investigation while dealing with a guy who talks longer than a DMV line. Jim's trying to stay focused on getting the truth out of a private individual who apparently tried to destroy documents. But no. California man wants to argue about who sent which email to whom and whether anyone has the mystical gift of White House clairvoyance. The way this guy kept asking, did you write the White House? Did you call the White House? Did you send a letter to the White House? Did you think about the White House? Bro, at one point I thought he was about to ask if Jim Jordan had emotionally journaled about the White House. And Jim's there like, no, we reached out 2 days ago when the issue was raised. Which is a normal time to do it, you know, after someone claims executive privilege, not before they even hint at it. What do these folks want? Time travel? I mean, California man basically wanted Jim Jordan to send a letter months ago saying, Dear White House, I don't know what you're thinking yet, but just in case you ever someday maybe think something, here's a letter about it. What? Then the guy does this whole dramatic courtroom style. Thank you for making a clean record for any court. Like he's auditioning for Law and Order, Congressional Unit. Meanwhile, Jim Jordan is just trying to get the basic truth out of an author who allegedly tried to destroy materials. You know, the sort of thing Congress is supposed to investigate. But no. Instead, we get 15 minutes of, did you call them? Did you write them? Did you text them? Did you tag them on Instagram? Brother, please. And then, and this is my favorite part, California man accuses Jim Jordan of going straight to contempt. Buddy, have you seen Congress? Going straight to contempt is practically a tradition at this point. Some committees hand out contempt votes like Oprah hands out cars. But notice what he does next. He tries to take a jab at Jim Jordan about his own previous subpoena drama. Classic move. It's like political Uno. Oh, you're trying to enforce subpoena? Well, I'm going to reverse card you. But here's the thing. Jim Jordan stays calm, focused, doesn't get rattled, doesn't take the bait. He's out there doing what he always does, cutting to the nonsense while everybody else tries to turn a hearing into a poetry slam about procedure. And that's why we support the guy on this channel. He keeps us cool while everyone else is trying to drown him in bureaucratic word salad. Folks, all I'm saying is this. If Congress spent half as much time investigating corruption as they spend arguing about who should write a letter to whom, we'd have fixed Washington already. All right, Patriots, that's my reaction. If you enjoyed this breakdown of congressional chaos, hit like, smash subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what you think. Was Jim Jordan right? Was California man auditioning to be a judge on a reality court show? Should Congress install a timer like a chess match so people can't talk for 5 minutes straight without breathing? Let me know below. And don't forget, subscribing helps this channel keep bringing you honest commentary with a side of humor and absolutely zero hate. This is America Patriots, signing off. Stay free, stay bold, and stay loud. America